Good afternoon. I appreciate y'all coming today, and I really appreciate the family of Fred Green here, as you can see, along with my cold case detectives, John Plitch and Al Casal. So, as most of you know, this announcement really is about a 2004 cold case murder that occurred in Berkeley County back in November 1st at about 3:30 a.m. in the morning. Berkeley County deputies arrived at the Diplomat Club, which is on Diplomat Lane in Ladson off of College Park Road. When they arrived, they found Fred Green Jr., who at the time was 28 years old, with multiple gunshot wounds. He later died at the local hospital. Detectives worked the case, crime scene, and did not get a lot of cooperation from folks that were inside the club that night. So the case went cold. And over the years, different detectives have picked up the case and looked into it. But I'm happy to announce today that these two cold case detectives here were able to put this case together with a variety of means, using technology, using just really a lot of good old-fashioned detective work. And we're able to arrest Xavier Williams. Williams is in the Berkeley County Jail charged with murder. He is from Charleston, and he has an extensive criminal history and criminal record. I understand he was out on bond wearing an ankle monitor for trafficking drug charges. So I wanted to really just highlight the work that went into this case. So you think about it, it's 3:30 a.m. in the morning in a nightclub, and Fred Green Jr. is shot and killed in a room full of people. And, you know, at the time people left the scene, from what I'm told. I wasn't here then, and they had very little cooperation. But these two detectives picked this case up, and they started working for over the last 5.5, 6 months now. They've been working this case, piecing it together, locating witnesses, people that refused to talk back then now decided to come forward in some situation. But again, it's about a lot of detective work that went into this. So when I look at the family of Fred Green Jr., who September 15th would be, he would have been 45 years old. His life was taken from him and taken from his family. And nobody deserves that type of loss. And I'm proud of the work that these detectives put into this case. It's a complicated case. It's a case that they painstakingly went through. They did a recreation of the scene, taken from measurements and photographs from that 2004 crime scene. And basically put this together. I also want to recognize Solicitor Scarlett Wilson and her office for helping us, her investigators. Also, Assistant Solicitor Ann Williams has also been involved in helping us put this case together and really got us where we are today. Xavier Williams was taken into custody by the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force here in Charleston. I want to thank them for their work on locating him and bringing him in to the Berkeley County Jail. And so I understand he's had a bond here, and he's being held without bond until such time a circuit court judge can hear that portion of the case. Again, we're 17 years dealing with a family's loss, and it's taken us a long time to get where we are. And you know, I hope you understand that we never gave up, and we kept plugging away, and that it was a lot of painstakingly detective work that went into this case, and I'm hoping that this arrest brings y'all some comfort. You deserve some sense of comfort from your loss, and so again, I want to thank y'all for being here and being a part of this announcement. And again, I wanted to highlight the exceptional detective work that went into this case with the help of the solicitor's office and their investigators. So I'll entertain any questions that you may have at this point.
Joe, I know you said at the beginning you were talking about maybe several people not cooperating with the investigation. Were there other issues that kind of stalled this investigation early on?
From what I understand, a lot of folks were reluctant to talk for different reasons, for fear, intimidation, maybe. You know, you're thinking back 2004. You know, you're in a nightclub, and you know, it's 3:30 a.m. in the morning. There's a lot going on at that time, and that place was known as a place of violence. I think the previous deputies had been out there numerous times for violent crimes, so it was a dangerous place. However, you know, Fred Green didn't deserve to die the way he did, and nobody deserves that. And so I think some folks have had a change of heart, and just bringing this case to the forefront and putting these detectives on it really kind of started breaking for us.
Was there any kind of relationship between Williams and Green? Help identify him?
I'll let Detective Plitch answer that.
No, there was no relation. They may have been acquaintances, but there's no other relationship.
Sure. Do we have any clear picture of some of the specifics from that night of what happened? Did this investigation uncover some of those?
Yeah, I can give you a little bit, just from the scene and the recreation and the information we got from the original witnesses and people that were there. Essentially, Xavier Williams sought out Fred Green and basically ambushed him inside that club. He went there for a reason, and the reason was to shoot and kill Fred Green Jr. We believe, we've not substantiated this, we believe through different street talk that Xavier Williams believed that Fred was involved as a witness to another shooting that happened in North Charleston previously, and of course we don't know the true answers at this point, all the answers, but we believe that he was retaliated against just because he was at that scene. So again, it's just a senseless killing for no real reason.
Should this give hope to other victims of cold cases that you guys are working constantly to solve those cold cases?
I hope it does. We've got a number of cold cases that we're continuing to work. We've had some success, and of course this case is a successful arrest for us. You know, when you look at cold cases, it's very difficult to start over, especially from 2004, and piece everything back together. Take a look at the physical evidence that you have, that you've tested, physical evidence that's retested, trying to find witnesses from that period of time. It's difficult, and to get them to cooperate and help us has been a challenge for us. I think it's a challenge for all of us in law enforcement to get people to come forward when they witness a crime, especially a violent crime. because of the no snitch rule that's out there in society today. People do not want to cooperate with law enforcement. And you're talking about somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's cousin, somebody's friend, somebody's aunt, somebody's uncle that has lost their life, and no one will come forward and help you and help us. And I'm sad to say that's the change, a change of the times, and I don't know how we fix that. We constantly work day in and day out, building a rapport with our community, with the folks here in Berkeley County, and I know other agencies do the same thing, to build trust and confidence and all those things that we really work hard for every day. And then when we have a violent crime, you know, they were there at that barbecue that we put on and gave out hamburgers and hot dogs, but then when they witnessed that violent crime, they didn't see anything. They don't want to get involved. And so we're seeing that, and it's sad. It really is sad, because the families don't deserve, they don't deserve that. They just don't. So I hope that answered your question. Anybody else?